Goosebumps, The Vanishing. All episodes released January 10th, 2025. Released on Hulu and Disney+. Based on Goosebumps Stay Out of the Basement by R.L. Stine. Created by Nicholas Stoller and Rob Letterman. Starring David Schwimmer, Jaden Bartles, and Sam McCarthy. Rotten Tomatoes, 71%. Metacritic, 65. Welcome back to Real Reviews. Like always, I am your host, Lee. Today we are talking about Season 2 of Goosebumps, or Goosebumps, The Vanishing, depending on where you look. I was in the original target audience for Goosebumps. It was on TV and my classrooms had the books in them. I am not the target audience anymore, but being familiar with it does give me a nostalgic feeling when I see new projects. But how is this new adaptation of a 30-year-old book? This story does take some names and some of the general ideas of the original work, but it takes on a different overarching plot and changed some characters. The original plot is about Dr. Brewer, a botanist who creates plants that create clones of people. Like other Goosebumps works, the kids work it all out. The new plot has all of that framework, but where Dr. Brewer isn't the cause of the issues, but instead also a victim. David Schwimmer, who plays Dr. Anthony Brewer, is weirdly a lot like his role as Ross in Friends, which totally works for this. The nervous, embarrassingly nerdy father figure. Jaden Bartles and Sam McCarthy are the twins Cece and Devin. Cece being the modern overachiever, and Devin her underachieving, socially awkward brother. I think they both do a pretty decent job in their roles. Jaden does a great job as the girl obsessed with appearances and her future so much that at the slightest hint of failure, she starts coming apart at the seams. Sam McCarthy is equally proficient in his role as the kind of awkward loser who has no social skills. His interactions with Galilea La Salvia's character Frankie are genuinely almost painful to watch because of how out of place he seems in the situation. Even Stony Blyden as the jerk kind of deviant character is portrayed pretty well. The effects are certainly an area where it does not look good. There is plenty of sentient goo, and basically every single time it is on screen it looks absolutely terrible. This could have easily been solved by having fewer shots where the goo was in the shot, so they could have increased the quality for the moments when it was there. Luckily, this is really the only area where effects are used, so it doesn't really become a huge issue until about halfway through the show. The pacing is honestly pretty good. Each episode feels decently contained and leads right into the next. They don't feel like they end abruptly. In fact, the endings all feel about right. Part of what makes the pacing work is that most things are set up pretty well, each episode just layering a bit more information each time. This show does certainly work well with the genre, but children's horror is a pretty easy niche to fit into. Even though adults play important roles in the story, the kids are the ones that figure everything out and get it solved. It does have a bit of a mystery show feel thrown into it. I do think that the side characters are pretty good, even if a few seem decently cliché. But in children's shows, a bit of heavy-handed cliché is expected. This does roll over to the main characters as well. One of the biggest examples is Trey, who is the kind of jerk boyfriend who hates Devin for hitting on his girlfriend, but by the end of the show follows the trope story of enemy into friend. But it works. It builds up to it in a satisfying way. One thing I enjoyed probably the most in this show, but also something that will surely date it, is the choice of music with the likes of Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, and Charlie XCX. It firmly plants it in the fact that it was being completed in 2024. But that adds to the enjoyment for now. It just likely won't age the best. Ultimately, I do think having an American Horror Story type of horror show for younger audiences is a good thing. The single primary plot is certainly more appealing than the original Goosebumps series with single or maybe double episode plots. So I have this show a 6 out of 8 or a 7.5 stars, the almost complete lack of a compelling antagonist and the frankly terrible effects being the 2 points that I took away from it. I did enjoy it and would recommend it all the same. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. I tend to have 2 videos out per week, real reviews like this or AI reviews depending on releases. Until next time.